Well, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so this we kind of interested, and now we'll love to do the master about um condi conditional formatting. So it's kind of cool because it has a lot of like things that we can apply with the conditional formatting. So can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I would like to do first. I would like to focus on um on the number. It's like student number. So by doing the conditional formatting, we have to go to the home tab and then click on the conditional right here. So there are there are a lot of options that we can do or choose, like highlight sales rules, and there are more um, styles or options as well. But there are two things that one that I would like to choose. It is about highlight sales rule. So I can choose the um, greater. If if I'm talking about a greater, I can go to the score beside the number or student name or gender. So I choose the now I would like to choose the score for the student. Okay, I will go to um, greater than. You can see. So we are focused on like the greater, like the score who are the higher. Okay, I can choose this color right here, light red or yellow or green to fill. But also I can choose another colors like on. So go to the custom format, and then I can see okay. There's a numbers like general number currency something, and a font to change the number the color, or I can do the border or the fill. Fill is all about the color something. So okay, I would like to choose red and then click OK. So okay, so right here show that for the greater, like sorry, greater number. I'm sorry. Okay, let me choose like this. Okay, okay. Beside doing this, there are more about the highlight cell rule. Um, hold on. I can go to more rules and, and there are more selection of rule type. So you can do format all cells based on their volumes or format only cells that contain or format only top to bottom or bottom rank volumes and or right here is format only volumes that are below or above average. or format only unique or duplicate volumes. So a lot of things that we can do. So right here, I would like to choose the format only top or bottom, and I would like to click to choose only 5 students or 5 people right here, and I would like to use like color or something, probably like light, okay, probably like yellow to see who are the first 5. Okay. Oh, and also right here you can choose top or bottom, and then you can choose the number like from 1 to 5, and you can do to find the student's rank. Okay, so we can see that right here only 5 students are on the top because they have the higher scores from anyone else. So like you can see, oh, so this guy, um, this person is number 1, or the second, or the third, the fourth, the fifth. So for the conditional formatting, it's like mentioned earlier that you can do greater than, less than, between, equal to, um, text that cont- text that contains a date or string, and also a lot of things. And so there are more rules if you go to more rules for the highlighting cells rules. So that is what I have learned for this week, and that I also want to show you and also everyone through the demonstration as well. So that's it for my part.
Okay. So
I will still share my screen, and that is your turn.
so
So do you have any
thanks.
suggestion or um, question or something that
Yeah.
you can really help with
Um,
me?
yeah, I think it's all good. It's
Okay,
all good for now. Um, yeah, so it's good. Conditional formatting, it's really great. The most important thing is you should know what you're doing. I think the whole thing about Excel is you should know beforehand what you want. Then that would guide you as to what you need to do in order to get what you want. So first of all, you need to know what you want, and
mhm,
then you know exactly what to do in order to get that.
okay, yeah,
So I guess I'll just go straight away to um, share my screen. I can get started.
okay,
Okay, I think you see my screen, right?
yes, yes,
Okay, so I will just do some few things. I will work on the text as well as the conditional formatting. So for the conditional, I'll start with the conditional formatting first. So I would like to work on the gender column. So one thing I learned is that you can set multiple rules at the same time. So I would like to work in here. Now, what I want to do is, if the gender is a male, I want to see a different color. If it's a female, I want to see a different color. So I highlight the gender. That's all the genders in the column, and then I go straight to manage rules. So in here, I can apply multiple rules. I come to new rule. I'm going to use this cells that only contain a value, and then I'm going to go for text. Now I'm using text because the values in the column I'm working with are text, and so I need to change that to text so that it will respond to the values that I have in those cells. So now here's one thing that okay, let me just continue to do that, and then you see what I'm trying to. So I'm going to type this in mail, and then here. Okay, so over here you notice that I said it's going to look for a specific text, and that text contains the word mail. And when it finds that word, it should highlight it as red. Now see what happens when I apply it. Now you see that all this is highlighted, even the females. Why? Because in female you have the word male, which is the same as what is up here. And so it looks out for any word that contains the word male, and it highlights it. And that is why it gave me, it highlighted the female genders as well. So that is not what I want. I wanted it to only highlight the males. So to do that, I go back to edit, and then I change this to beginning with. And so my word begins with this, male. So when I change that, apply. So you see over here that it fixes that error. All right. So let's add another condition. Same thing, it contains, we're still working with the text. And this also beginning with, and then we have female format. Let's do usual yellow. Okay, apply, and then you can see that it works all right. And so we have all the rules that I set in here, and you can always select the rule you edit, or you can choose to delete the rule that you have. And so this is a cool thing that I learned. You can set multiple rules at the same time, but then you should know exactly what you're looking out for or the outcome you want, and then you go ahead to do that. Now the other thing is also to dealing with text, that you are able to set a condition that that highlights a text based on, say, a range or a cutoff point or something. So let's use this cell as our reference point. So I'm going to type in 2018 over here, and select all these rows, and let's use highlight cell rules. I'm going to use a less than now. So it's going to select all the years listed in this column that are below 2018. So I need to reference this to the cell that contains the reference value. I can change, let me use a green. Okay, and as you can see, I think that is not let me change. Okay. So okay. So I think this is better. So you can see that this, and then this are all below 2018, and so it highlighted those cells. The other thing I would want to do is um, has to do with manipulating texts. So now in here is names of say employers, and we have the first and the last names combined together. And so what I want to do is I want to separate this into two separate columns. Now looking at this, it's very easy to do this with just a simple step, and then you can separate this into two different columns. So to do that, you go to the data tab, and then in the data tools group, you select text to columns. So we are going to stick to the delimited next. Now, the one thing that the common thing that all these texts have is a space between the first name and then the last name. That is the main thing that one thing that they all share in common. And so the delimiter here is going to be the space between them. So with that, we can get a distinction. And so you can see what happens when I remove the uncheck the space. See that it brings everything back. When I check it back, it separates it. So is this what I want? Yes, this is what I want. So I go to next. I'm gonna keep the general, but I'll change my destination. So I want to keep it here. Click this back and then finish. Good. So you can see that it has separated the names I have here into two separate columns. So the first names on this side and then the last name on this side. Now, the last thing I want to do is concatenation using the ampersand sign, or I mean the ampersand. So, sorry, okay. Now, let's say I want to join these two texts to something like this as if it was here, but then I want to put the two together in this cell. What I do is I type in the portal sign, I click on this cell, and what joins the two is the ampersand sign. So I click on this to select that cell, click, press enter, and then it joins the two. Now notice that there is no space between the two names. Why is that the case? Because the space is also a character. And so since I'm using an ampersand, I need to explicitly state that I want a space between the text that I have. So how do I input that? Now remember that the space is also a character, and so you must have an ampersand to have that joined in the formula that you are writing. And so we have the first, which is J2. Then we use the word, okay, so joined to, what do we want? We want a space, so we put that in quotes. Now, see that as soon as I put the quotation mark there, this cell over here, it was before, it was highlighted. Let me take that off again, so that it is highlighted. As soon as I put the quotation mark there, it's no longer highlighted. So it means that the ampersand is no longer affecting that cell. So what do I want? I want a space, so space, quotation mark again, and then to join that cell, I use the ampersand one more time to join that, and then press, and you can see that I have a space between the names. When I drag it down, it fills that just as I want it. Now, one thing to notice is that when you are referencing values in a cell using the cell name, there is no need to use the ampersand. However, when when you're referencing uh, texts in a cell, there is no need for you to use quotations. There's no need to use quotation marks unless you are typing those characters directly in the formula you are writing. So what I mean by that is, supposing I want this, but then I want to use a formula, and in typing that directly, it will be, there's actually no need to use that. You can just type in direct and then you have your name in there. But then when you are using the ampersand to join text text together, remember that when you're referencing a cell, there is no need to use the quotation marks. However, when you are hard coding a text in a formula using the ampersand, you need the quotation marks. A text or a character, you need the quotation marks. However, when you're hard coding a value or a number, there is no need to use quotation marks. Now, here's what I mean. So we have the same thing as up here, but let's say I want to add a value to it. So I have my ampersand again. Remember that is another character coming in, but this time it's a number. And so we bring the ampersand and I just add 5. Now, see that there is no quotation marks surrounding the 5. So I press enter and you see that a 5 has been added to the name I have here. If you want a space, I'll just have to put my, sorry, I have to put my quotation marks so I can, and 5, good. So it adds the space as well to that. So this is what I've learned this week. There are so many more, but I think basically these are things that I am quite comfortable with for this week. I know if you have any questions.
No. It's like it seems like you have been doing this really well. Like yeah, so that's awesome. Okay, for conditional things and also for the text you have done well. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, so
Okay.
okay,
Wow. Well,
so thanks so much for your time, and you're about starting your day, so
yeah,
you have a good day.
yeah, you too. So you have a good night and sleep well as well.
All
So
right, I will.
yeah,
I
thank
will.
you so much for
All
helping
right.
me and doing the group demonstration. Thank you.
Yeah, that's okay. Then thanks as well. All right.
So yep,
Bye bye.
yeah, bye bye. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye.